Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope your week is off to a good start. I recorded this message this morning and got it posted, but for some reason or another, there was no sound. So this is a re-recording. You could go back and play the other video and try to read my lips and see if the audio to this matches that, but I'm going to guarantee you I'm going to say something differently here than what I said this morning, but the message will still be the same. The text today is from Amos chapter 3. Amos chapter 3. I'll give you a second here to get over to the text. Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos in the Old Testament. Amos chapter 3 and verse number 3. It says, "Can two walk together except they be agreed?" If you can picture the activity called the three-legged race, two people have their one leg each tied to each other, so the left leg of one person is tied to the right leg of the other person, and they have to go as quickly as they possibly can down to the end of the track there. And of course, it's a lot of fun. People fall down. It's a fun activity. But the point of the race is that in order to do the activity, both people have to be going in the same direction, and they need to work together. That's that team building, that cooperation. They have to walk together, get their strides together in order to be able to complete the course and to try to win. And so it means they have to be agreed, going in the same direction, taking steps at the same time. And so it is also in life. And spiritually speaking, Galatians chapter 5, verses 16 and 17 say, "This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would." So you cannot walk in the Spirit and the flesh at the same time. It is impossible because the two are never agreed. And so in a practical manner, how do we put this into practice in a practical manner? Spiritually speaking, we cannot worship God and worship something else at the same time. And so how do we put this together in a practical manner? We need to be more aware of with whom we are agreed or walking with whom we are our friendships and our alliances and things like that, and to make sure they're the kind of people with whom we should be walking together. Who are we agreed with? And so first of all, it matters who your friends are. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?" So be not equally yoked with an unbeliever. And so that is in relationships. We're going to have friends who are lost, and that's okay. We're going to have family members who are lost, and then that's understandable. The point is, who are your closest friends? Who are the people that you trust? Who is the closest to you? Don't be yoked to a non-believer, because spiritually speaking, they cannot benefit you at all. They still may be your friends, and you're still going to love them. But when it comes to spiritual matters, be not equally yoked, unequally yoked. This is, who are you going to marry? Who is your business partner going to be? All these things matter because evil communications corrupt good manners. If you start running around with the wrong crowd, you're going to become the wrong crowd. And then I'm going to keep my children from you because you are the wrong crowd now. And so those evil communications, the people that we hang around with, they will corrupt us. So it matters who your friends are. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 9, we'll look at a few verses in the Proverbs. But in Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 9, we see some relationships described here. First in Proverbs 18:9, it says, "He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster." And if you notice, anybody who is lazy in their work or lazy in how they keep house, the slothful, they're also a great waster. They're a time waster. They're a money waster. They're frivolous. They end up having to buy things multiple times because they lose things because they don't take care of things. They're wasters. They're slothful and they're wasters. So are these the people that you're hanging out with, the slothful and the wasteful? How about the destroyer? Proverbs chapter 28, verse 24. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 24. Says, whoso robbeth his father or his mother, and saith it is no transgression, the same is the companion of a destroyer. And so the person who is disrespectful and doesn't take care of other people's things, well, it's no big deal. Well, they're the companion of a destroyer, somebody who you might as well just go in and level the place. You're not taking care of that which is not yours. So you're destroying that person. You're destroying that person's stuff, and you have no care. Are those the people that you're in agreement with, that you're walking with? Are those your compatriots? The person who sows discord, the one who's full of contention and stirs up the strife. Are those the people that you're hanging out with, regardless of where it is? The one who just always has to gripe about stuff. Are those the people that you hang around with? Because whatever they are is what you will become, and it will be corrupting. We should be friendly toward everyone, but we should be very selective about who our closest friends are. It's when we have no discernment or choose not to use it that we get into trouble. This is the girl that gets involved with a guy and he becomes abusive. She gets hurt, breaks up with him, and then winds up going right back to him, or goes off to another guy who's just like him. She lacks the discernment. A guy gets with a conniving, manipulating girl and gets hurt, and your friends tried to warn him, but he wouldn't listen, and then he just those are the kinds of people we have to be very careful of. We get involved with those. It matters who your friends are, because where those friends are, that's where our mate comes in. That's where our partners come in. That's where it matters who your friends are. The second thing is it matters what you do. Let's look at Colossians chapter 3. Colossians chapter 3. Colossians chapter 3, verse 17 says, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God and the Father by him. Verse 23 says, and whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. You are responsible for what you do, and it matters what you do. It's not enough for someone to tell you what the rules are all the time and just you should obey the rules that are set before you, yes. But at some point, you need to understand why the rules are the way they are. And I know that we lost a generation of people. They went to church, but all they got was you're not going to wear that dress, and you're not going to stay out late, you're not going to listen to that music, you're not going to dance, and all the rules, you will not do this, and you will not do that. And they were never taught an explanation of why. Now, they need to obey, but they also need to be taught why. Why can't I date that guy or that girl? Why can't I go out with those people? Explaining those rules. It's just like teaching your kids manners. It starts out with correction, but then there needs to be the understanding as well. Does whatever you do build you up spiritually? And does it build up other people spiritually? Does it bring you under its power? All things are lawful unto me, but not all things are expedient. Are you using your liberty for an occasion to the flesh? Could it cause someone to stumble in their faith, someone else to stumble in their faith? It matters what you do. What you do in private is still matters as well, because it will be revealed. The Lord knows what you are doing, and you are going to give an account to him. Even if your sin does not get exposed to other people, the Lord knows what it is. So it matters what you do. We cannot be hypocrites. We cannot be one way out in the world and another way at home, and one way at church and another way out in the world. We have to be the same, being instant in season and out of season. Our message and our walk have to be the same. So it matters what you do, because you're going to give an account to God. And the people that those people that are your closest, they are going to know who you really are, and they need to see that. So it matters who your friends are, and it matters what you do. It matters who you vote for and who you endorse. Why would you vote for someone who is pro-choice when you say you claim to be to cherish life and the sanctity of life? Why would you vote for someone who doesn't agree with you on matters like that? It also matters why you do the things that you do. Let's look at Hebrews chapter 4. Hebrews chapter 4. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12 says, "For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart." So you and I can do the wrong things, but for the right reason. And that's not justified. It's like when you're fighting crime, breaking the law to apprehend a criminal who has broken the law. You're not supposed to do that. You can't do that. You see this in the movies where in order to catch the evil warlord, you've got to use magic in order to catch the magician. Well, no, you can't use evil to fight evil. So your intentions are, or lying. It's a real big one. Children will break the rules and lie, but because they save the universe, all is well. That's the theme in almost every Disney movie that's out there. They disobey the parents, they break all the rules, but because they save the world, everything is okay. No, lying is still wrong no matter why you did it. We can also do the right things for the wrong reasons. We can do them selfishly. It's a good deed that we did, but we did it to serve ourselves. And so those are also wrong reasons. We can do the wrong things for the right reasons. We can do the right things for the wrong reasons. So it does matter why we do the things that we do. And it also matters what people think of you. Let's look at Proverbs chapter 15. Proverbs chapter 15. In Proverbs chapter 15, verse 30, it says, "The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat." It's not just a qualification of the pastor to have a good report with them that are without. You and I, as believers, should have a good reputation with people. It matters what people think of it, because that's your testimony. Let your yea be yea. That means your word is solid. People can trust you. They may not agree with you, but they know that you are consistent between what you say and what you do. They know that you're going to shoot straight with them. You're not going to lie to them. They may not agree with your opinions or your decisions, but they will at least know that you are shooting straight with them. It matters what people think of you. Yes, there will always be those who are not going to like you no matter what. But when they level those charges against you, they ought to be ridiculous. It ought to be that they're going to have, somebody is going to have to pay somebody, basically suborning perjury. Someone's going to have to pay somebody to be a false testimony against you, just like they did Jesus Christ. That ought to be the case. Somebody wants to get you, they're going to have to hire people to lie. And everyone else is going to be like, no, there's no way. That's just not true. I know it's not true. This is a kangaroo court. This is baloney. That ought to be your testimony. It matters what people think of you. Your life and how you live and how you speak and how you do the things that you do, who your associates are, why you do what you do, all of that leads to your ability to share the gospel with other people, to be able to teach, to be able to lead people. And if you don't care who your friends are, and you don't care what people think of you, and you don't care why you do things and what you do, you're never going to be able to share the gospel with other people. And then you become useless to God. And that's not the kind of life that we should be living. You cannot walk with the Lord if you are not in agreement with him. So who are you walking with today? Well, let's make sure that together we can help each other out to walk in the Spirit and not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Till Sunday, may God richly bless you. Take care.